Hey, how's it going everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing the exterior of this RAV4. Now this is not mine, don't worry, I'm not getting another one. This is my brother and his wife's car. They're going to be sold soon, so they asked me to give it a good cleanup. You'll see when I start to dig into this some more. The other side is pretty bad. It was parked under some trees that covered it in sap, and the interior is pretty bad. If you missed that, go check out the last video, I'll link it there. So anyway, let's get right into it.
Even though this might sound weird, the place we're going to start is underneath the hood. This vehicle sat underneath trees and shrubs that were dumping a lot of debris. This is relatively normal for any car that sits outside for long periods of time. I decided to start by just using the shop vac to pick up the larger debris. I didn't think it was quite necessary to fire it across the car with the power washer. Bit of a side tangent, I guess, but I just put in these two rainwater collection barrels. If you happen to wash your car a lot, I would highly recommend these. They are a great addition, and it has lowered my use of city water by quite a lot. All it requires you to do is put in a couple barrels and buy a pump that can support enough water pressure to wash the car. Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled video. Getting into the actual wash steps now, we're going to need 2 buckets. Yes, that is 2 buckets. One for soap and one for fresh water for rinsing your wash mitt. And at the bottom of each bucket, I would put a grit guard. I'm using a Chemical Guys grit guard, but there are other options that might be better. Typically helps if you remember to hit record on the camera before you do your work, but this is the after of the power washer taking out most of the stuck-on debris. And now it's time to prep the foam cannon. I had used mine recently, so all I have to do is fill it up with water, clear off the foam from the top, and add some wash mix. Again, using Chemical Guys citrus, you can use pretty much anything in these. Your mileage may vary, however. Continuing on with our prep stages, it's time to fill the soap bucket with the appropriate amount of soap. I did have to finish off one of my bottles of wash solution. Then it's just as easy as foaming up the power washer. Since this car had been left outside for quite a long time and had picked up a lot of loose debris and bird crap and sap and whatnot, I decided to start with a very thorough rinse with the power washer. Remember, it is a power washer. It has a lot of pressure. You can use it to your advantage. As mentioned earlier, there is a lot of pressure coming out of the end of this thing. The tip I use is a 30-degree tip just for that exact reason. It gives you just enough pressure, but not too much. You're trying to knock the dirt off the car, not peel the clear coat. I noticed a lot of debris trapped under this rear tire, so I decided to take it off and use the power washer to clean out the mount. This isn't exactly a necessary step, but if I'm here, I might as well do this thoroughly. Now it's time to do a bit of a foam rinse, always my favorite part. See how this transformed the car even without having to touch it. The idea here with the foam rinse is just to use the foam to your advantage. Any stuck-on debris that might have gotten left behind when you used the power washer, something you missed maybe, should and could get carried away by the foam. Now, this isn't going to shine your car, but it also isn't going to do any harm. While we let that drip off for a couple of minutes, and let all the debris fall out of the car, I'm going to reload the foam cannon. You're going to notice a bit of redundancy from here on. This step is just to rinse off that foam that you just applied to the car to get that bigger debris I had mentioned. I would not recommend running a wash mitt through it at this stage, because any of that debris that hasn't quite made it to the ground yet will scratch the living hell out of your paint and clear coat. If you have a relatively clean car, that's fine, but this one was in a state that I would not have done that. Now that you have reapplied foam to your car, we can start to get to the stage where you actually put a wash mitt to the car. The foam that I'm using for this is just a lubricant. It's to stop any scratches from the wash mitt. And now for the final rinse. This is really just to get the foam off the car. Most of what you would have taken off, or what debris would have been left, would have come off in the wash mitt and gone into your rinse bucket. I guess it should be noted that you should still be pretty thorough with this, just in case like seams or cracks or something you might have missed in previous steps could be harboring loose leaves, berries, debris, anything like that. This step is more my personal preference, but I like to use a leaf blower or anything that can supply an adequate amount of pressure, be it a compressed air gun or something, to just blow the larger water droplets off the car before I use a finishing towel or a soft drying towel. In this case, I'm using a Chemical Guys Happy Ending towel. Again, not sponsored by Chemical Guys. At this point, now that the paint is mostly dry, now you should jump into the door sills, door jambs, anywhere that might have a seam. It seems like something that people miss often, but there is still water that gets into those areas. It might not get into the cabin. There's no need to let it stay there in water spot. I'm going to use Chemical Guys All-Purpose Cleaner for this. These are sap marks from the tree that the car was sitting under. Just spray it on, give it a couple seconds to work its way in, and then use a microfiber or a soft towel to wipe it clear. And then once you are done with that, you do not want to leave this stuff on the paint, so grab your power washer out again and spray it on down. Repeat this step anywhere you might have hard sap mark. I had to do this on the roof, which means I had to climb myself up through the door jamb onto the roof. Not exactly the safest thing ever, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
think I'm a little dark, and that's because I have to keep you hidden. The sunlight is kind of making this camera's day a little bit shite. But, as you can see, it's nice and clean now. All of the spots from the sap are off the hood, and the rest of the car is pretty well decrapped. Next up, we'll have to take care of these headlights. Oh, actually. So yes, these headlights will be next. I will do a video on that, but I don't have the supplies to do it now, so I'm going to end this video. Thank you all for watching so much. This is a great video series. I've been enjoying it a lot. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.
Oh, and I nearly forgot. Don't forget to clean out your wash buckets. They do collect debris and dirt from the paint. You wouldn't want that going onto the next car you clean.